This Hindi study Bible commentary provides an in-depth exegetical look at the first chapter of Genesis. The commentary approaches the text as a highly structured philosophical framework, emphasizing logic and systemic organization. This is evident in the categorical headers used throughout the analysis. The authors transition immediately from the scriptural verses into a systemic breakdown, starting with the mechanics of creation. The commentary defines its model of origins by directly addressing evolutionary theory. By utilizing the literary structure of Genesis, the text builds an argument that cosmic order requires an underlying intelligent design, rather than unguided processes. The foundational axiom is that before any physical matter existed, there was an eternal, pre-existent creator. The ancient text explicitly describes the initial state of the universe as a formless, empty, and chaotic void. The commentary highlights the Hebrew word ruach, translated into Hindi as atma or spirit, meaning wind or breath, actively hovering over this chaotic void. This hovering represents the introduction of stabilizing energy and specific intention into a volatile environment. Before building the physical universe, the commentary establishes a non-material organizing intelligence as the necessary first cause for the ordered framework that follows. A summary table in the commentary demonstrates that the 7-day timeline is organized as a symmetrical matrix. The first 3 days of this timeline establish the initial phase of this architectural framework. Days 1 through 3 are dedicated to creating domains, specific ecological boundaries that resolve the initial chaos. Day 1 establishes the domain of light and darkness. Day 2 separates the sky above from the waters below. Day 3 separates dry land from the seas and introduces foundational vegetation. The Hindi text categorizes this specific block of days as order in creation. The first half of the matrix serves as a cosmic blueprint, focused on defining spatial boundaries. The second half of the matrix then populates these newly structured environments. These days are dedicated to filling the void with inhabitants that correspond directly to the previously established domains. Day 4 introduces the sun, moon, and stars for the light domain. Day 5 introduces birds and fish for the sky and water. Day 6 introduces land animals and humanity for the dry land. The commentary categorizes this phase as life in creation. This 3x3 symmetry organizes the text into a conceptual grid, where each creation event serves a documented architectural purpose. The commentary applies this matrix to modern scientific debates through specific points of critique. A primary objection raised is that naturalistic evolution lacks an initial animating first cause. The text also emphasizes biological boundaries, citing the recurring phrase, according to their kinds. This sets up a contrast between two biological models, an interconnected branching tree, and the categorical boxes of the Genesis matrix. Because the text describes the sudden creation of categories, the commentary demands transitional fossils to validate evolution, which it claims are absent. The commentary views these rigid, symmetrical boundaries as philosophical evidence for an active designer, prioritizing fixed categories over unguided, gradual changes. To instantiate this matrix, the creator utilizes a specific mechanism. Creation is described as ex nihilo, out of nothing, triggered by the spoken word. This mechanism results in instantaneous manifestation, which the text contrasts with the timescales required for evolutionary processes. Speech acts as the bridge between the non-material first cause and physical reality, transferring logic and information into matter. Within this framework, the word is the mechanism of control, requiring that information exist prior to physical structure. The final row of the 7-day matrix breaks the 3x3 symmetry. Day 7 is defined by the term vishram, or rest, concluding with the statement that creation is complete and good. This rest represents the formal cessation of the active building phase. The system is now described as autonomous and fully operational. Day 7 serves as the theological keystone, marking the transition from a process of construction to a completed, purposeful cosmic order. The commentary concludes by outlining the intent behind this symmetrical construction. The first stated goal is the outward manifestation of divine glory and power. The second goal is the creation of a stable environment designed specifically for humanity to inhabit. Whether analyzed as literal history or comparative literature, the commentary presents Genesis 1 as a structural matrix, a framework that replaces the initial chaos with ultimate purpose and precise design.